How do you feel about the way they feel that being let down on this whole thing, that it's been reactive instead of proactive?
Well, I think for me the key message was about the communication, but it also the fact that sometimes if you do a standard communication across all businesses, that doesn't work. For example, a letter drop or whatever. Maybe the standard things that we've been done, but this is a different type of project, and we need to be completely different with this. We need to actually talk to the main people. Make sure that the communication is two-way. So in the sense that we can't just sort of drop a leaflet. You have to make sure that everybody appreciates the work that's been done, when it's going to be done, when there's changes, what's going to happen with those changes. And so I take fully on board that is really where we've got to have a step change, a massive step change of how we communicate.
There's money involved in this. They get penalties for falling behind, I presume, and they get a massive amount potentially if they go ahead. You've been on state media saying that they're 9 weeks, now it's 10 weeks I think you said this morning. I mean, how on earth could that be made up? I mean, can it be made up, really, seriously, or is it just going to tag on the end of this?
Well, we're working with the contractor at the moment to look at that, rescheduling that programme. So we will be determining over the next few months how much of that time can be made up. It may be, given some of the political feedback we've had this morning, that we want to extend out that time actually to lower the impact on some of the businesses, and that's something we need to reflect on over the coming period to see whether we should actually be slowing the programme down slightly to reduce that impact that we do accept the businesses are feeling at the moment.
And a twofold thing this morning, they were saying you meant to start at 9 o'clock outside the hotels, but they were starting at 7:30. So in one way they're starting early to get things done, but at the same time they were told there wouldn't be any roadworks till 9. You accept there's been a problem there as well?
I wouldn't say there's been a problem. There is a dilemma. Right. We cannot reconstruct this promenade without creating noise. There is going to be disruption. We deliberately set the times of operation that the contractor can use very wide, from 7 in the morning till 10 in the evening, and they can operate within that. We'd rather they didn't do noisy operations before 9 o'clock. Occasionally that will be necessary, and we understand that in a hotel environment that's not ideal, but equally we also know that people want this project finished quickly.
Well, my prom.im came up numerous times. I mean, that is meant to be your front portal to everyone's going on. I looked at the site, it does seem to be quite out of date in places. They were talking about this being shut, for instance, and it was dated back in April or something. You accept you haven't really got that side of things sorted out?
I think we need to resource the comms, and we need to work with other departments as well that have skills in this area to make sure that is fully resourced, and so that basically there's somebody on the web seeing what's changed, making sure it's on the web is updated, Twitter's updated, talking to the businesses. It's that kind of interaction, and also having somebody to say, if that fence needs moving because something urgent, there's somebody there to do it. And I think that, for me, in my view, is not acceptable, and we've got to do better than that.
Are you both disappointed with the way this has gone so far, with the public and especially obviously the people involved, how it doesn't seem to have gone better?
I think in many ways we're pleased with the way the project's going. People were predicting traffic chaos and carnage on the promenade. We haven't seen that. Traffic has been flowing very well. To the majority of the public, I think it's a very successful project at the moment. But I do recognise the hoteliers, the businesses, particularly those with passing trade, it is a really difficult and terrible time for them, and we've got to get better at responding to their needs on that moment-to-moment, day-to-day basis, communicating better with them so that they can plan their businesses and we can support them in that.
And once again, I mentioned compensation, this word, in whatever form that takes, be it rates, rebates, and I know that's actually Douglas Corporation, that sort of thing. Do you think more can be done to help people out?
That's certainly what I would like to see. I do think this is a different type of project. I think some of the things that we've been very good at, and you've just seen, in the Strand and elsewhere, where we've done regeneration projects and they've worked, but I think this is a different type of national project, and it does need different thinking. Not all of that is within my gift, so but I do think that there is more support that's needed.
Well, we're going to try and get our diaries more sorted, aren't we, for a monthly meeting on the prom, aren't we? That was a plan, and I think people certainly are keen. I'm not being funny about it, but people desperately want to know what's going on, I think.
Yeah, and to my mind, it is. I go back to it. It is an exciting project. We're having if you like, a sort of a difficult period, but there will be good periods, particularly when we start to see the reality, because I think what's misunderstood is that 80-90% of this is engineering. The whole of the infrastructure underneath is shot. You take the sewage, you take the water, you know, the fact that we're having to put more hydrants is because there aren't enough at the moment if there was an emergency and so forth. So the underneath is the bit you can't see, and it's probably the most important part. But as we move forward, and that's why I see it as an historic event, and it's going to be incredible when it's finished, and we'll look back and we'll sort of say, well, this, you know, that was bad, that was perhaps a bit better, and it'd be quite something.
Well, I'm sure in hundreds of thousands of years' time they'll be watching these ones back with interest. What timescale are you now putting on this? I mean, you basically said, I think, there you are happy to let this thing slide a bit in time. Will it continuously move, or have you got in your head a sort of this must be finished by this time?
In any project, there is a dynamic element to it. There are unknowns, and we are trying to incentivise the contractor to finish work quickly. So there's penalties and there's bonuses if things are early. However, we have to listen to what the businesses have said, and we with the Minister and others will reflect on that over the next period and decide, should we let this slip a little bit in order to ease some of that impact. There will be a consequence to that, and we need to manage that as well.
Well, that's what it comes down to, budgets. I mean, will you have more money to throw at it if you have to? Because obviously you've got a contract in place, but if need be, will it cost more? Will it overrun? There you go.
At the moment, we're within budget and projected to be within budget. There is contingency built into the project. There's a little bit of time float built into the project. So at the moment, no major alarm bells.
And you happy to see this through, Minister?
Absolutely. This is a challenge. It's something different, and I think it does really highlight the shift in government of the way we do things. As that's why I've said, you know, over the next coming months to see different people, because this is cross departments, a national project. It's something we're all invested in, and I think, you know, that is a really important takeaway from this, from the work we're doing today.